Yes, it's Let's Play Ultima 5, and time to get out the tavern and see what's what. Ah, this looks like a likely fellow. Let's talk to him. It appears to be a bard. Why, bard, what's thy name? I am Grayson, at thy service, my lord. And what do you do? Oh, ever the charmer, eh, Grayson? Oh, Yolo says with a harumph. Apparently Yolo and Grayson know each other. Oh, thou knowest there must be some bards that make up for thy blandness, noble Yolo, Grayson says, winking at you. There are some bards that do not blind their patrons with their outfits in order to impress them, Yolo returns. Doubtless there are, but I do not find any present. 'Tis good to see thee again, friend. I need not remind thee to be careful. Just, thou needst not. I thank thee the same. I am called Grayson, my lord. And what do you do? Why, I am an adventurer, troubadour, fighter of oppression, defender of justice, and wooer of ladies. All of these things am I, and more. Alright, tell me about your adventures. From Minok to Trinsic have I travelled, yea, and from you to the shores of the Isle of the Avatar. But now I make my home in fair Britannia, for with the coming of the reign of Lord Blackthorn, a new adventure hath come upon us all. He raises his eyebrows meaningfully. The Isle of the Avatar? 'Tis a truly wondrous place. To get much further than its shore, one must pass by the Guardians, two winged beasts that are made of stone yet possess life. Now, I think this is actually the first game to feature the Isle of the Avatar, because it got created at the end of Ultima 4 when you became the Avatar. They guard the shrine of the Codex of Ultimate Wisdom, and they will not let thee pass unless thou art on a secret quest. Of course, such a humble adventurer as myself is ignorant of such weighty matters. I would suggest that thou begin thy quest by meditating at the shrines of the virtues, using the mantra for the particular shrine at which thou art meditating. Oh, and what is the mantra? Oh, I am but a bard with a few mantras other than fill me that hat with coin. But I tell me, my lord, who dost thou consider to be the rightful ruler of Britannia, Lord Blackthorn or Lord British? Well, it's obviously Lord British. I'm with Yolo, the man that's being hunted by Blackthorn. Thou hast the right of it, and as long as he remaineth absent, the black shadow of the oppression shall never be lifted from Britannia's lands. I said earlier that I knew a few mantras, but I can tell thee that I know one of importance. The mantra of compassion is Mu. Use it well, my lord. Oh, thank you. Tell me of the oppression. 'Tis an appropriate name that Blackthorn and his men have taken upon themselves, aye? But I have heard tell of those who resist his rule, and thus I take heart that not all is lost. Oh, who resists? Oh, I know not of the resistance, I fear, and perhaps it is best for a public figure such as I maketh a tempting subject for a small inquisition. Truly I am humbled, he takes a mock bow. Tell me about compassion. Oh, sorry, I have to do my Ultima 9 voice here. Tell me about compassion. If thou dost lose thy way in thy search for its shrine, thou hast only to speak with Jessica, healer at the sanctuary in Cove. She is a fine healer of the body, and knoweth much of which may heal the spirit as well. Maybe we should head out to Cove at some point. Tell me about Britain. The former capital of compassion, now the capital of hushed words, furtive glances, and nervous politeness. What a wonder hath the oppression wrought. It hath taken the city too open in its hospitality, and metamorphosed into a town properly cautious in its virtue. One hath not only Blackthorn to thank, but also the captain of the guard, the charming Captain Maul. Tell me about Maul. As I said, a charming man. Why, I do believe he doth take a personal interest in mine own humble self, although for what reason I'm sure I cannot fathom. He and his upstanding men hath taken to protecting the city from all sorts of troubles, arson, vandalism of shop, all for a mere pittance and extra gold from the shopkeepers. Quite civic-minded of him, no? And timely, for the crime started just as soon as some merchants began to refuse paying their protection fee. Imagine. Tell me about you. Truly thou should visit the wondrous city of justice. Hast thou not already? Judge Dredd hath eliminated the concept of innocence entirely. Now all remaineth is for his inquisitors to prove the guilt of those brought to trial. What about Trinsic? What folly possessed the paladins of Trinsic to do battle against the taking of their town by the oppression? What could drive them to such madness as fighting for freedom and honour? He shakes his head in mock confusion. And Minok? The naive citizens of Minok thought that sacrifice was to aid another without thought for oneself. Luckily, with Lord Blackthorn in power, he hath taught them that sacrifice is merely the trading of one present pleasure for another in the future. Such wisdom! And tell me about the ladies. Thou hast met the fair and gracious Lady Talila. Thou knowest what I mean? Well, I haven't actually. She's the only one in the tavern I haven't met. Tell me about being a troubadour. Verily I travel the length and breadth of fair Britannia, trading my stories and song for an honest if meagre living. Occasionally I speak with the students at the Bards Guild here in Britain in an attempt to pass on what I have learned. With Salan as headmaster, the Bards Guild hath done much to keep the spirit of music and compassion alive in Britain. We are fortunate to have it here. And who is Salan? That man hath more patience than my poor self could ever dream to muster. One, to stay in place for so long, and two, to keep calm in the face of some of his students. There are two extremes that spring immediately to mind, Terrell and Ludrag. That young man hath been graced with more talent than I have ever seen. One thing is for certain, when I'm gone I will be proud to have him sing the lays I once sang. And Ludrag? Let us say that in every institution of learning there are those who come, and there are those who are brought. Let us also say that I have come to appreciate the common gremlin, as they possess more intelligence and civility than some humans. Well, farewell, Grayson, and thank you for the mantra of compassion. Although we should actually know the mantra from Ultima 4, it's always useful to be reminded. Ooh, it's the wine cellar. Let's have a Bard's Tale moment. Let's go in. Just for a glass of wine. Ooh, horses. Ooh, wine. Lots of wine. Let's take the wine. The wine's not owned. It's shareware. No. It's wine that you can't actually reach. Oh well. Do 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 do. Empty. Alright then, there's nothing here really, by the looks of things. Back to the town. Ooh, what was that? Is somebody shooting horses? Why, it's Captain Mole! Hello, Captain Mole? You see a 7-foot-tall slab of muscle with piggish eyes and wearing a black badge and a guard uniform with an insignia on one shoulder. Who art thou? Why, I'm Stuart. You know, no one. Alright then, be on thy way. And what art thou up to, Bard? He asks, turning his attention to Iolo. I should send thee to the Inquisitors. They'd make thee sing a pretty song. No doubt. I need no barding lessons from thine impression, friends. But let's not play games. If thou art going to attempt to arrest me, then do so. If not, shut thy face. Thou had best be thankful that the townfolk of Britannia hold thee in such high regard, tasteless though they are, or thou could find thyself in chains faster than thou canst blink. Watch thy step, Bard. He finishes with a sneer. And who are you? 'Tis Maul. I suggest that thou dost not forget it. I told thee not to forget it. Who are they? Oh, he's ignoring us. Never mind. Well, I think he's having... Is he having lunch with Grayson or something? Okay, so we've not got very far from the tavern. But let's take a break now. And continue the quest anon. Farewell, travellers.